The consortium announced on the Warhammer community that 2 April 2023, the news related about the new Battletome of the Death that are the Ossiarch Bonereapers and the Soulblight Gavelords. This is technically not something new. I made yet vlogs with announcement about such new Battletomes and new miniatures related about, so it's not something new, but what is new is other information that I've brought with this, and also we can also preview some of the boxes that are going to be released with and other things, so we go to see about such ones. So the first thing that we can see is that they made see the wrong Battletome of the Ossiarch Bonereapers, because this is about the Soulblight Gravelords. So okay, we have to know about this. Anyway, now I make you see the right one, at least the normal version. And here, so we can continue, we can see the Mortisan Ossifactor, that is the, we can call special version about the Mortisan Boneshaper, because it's that way. And sincerely, I like such models, so I'm quite curious if I really buy or not. But I think that I see the use before. Still, I think that in the future I'll buy anyway. And then we can continue to see the Vanguard of the Ossiarch Bonereapers. So we can see what will be the box that will be released to be associated about the Ossiarch Bonereapers itself. And here we can find that there are 27 mods in this. There is one Cottesar Harvester that it costs 45 euros. There is one unit of Gavelords that is 50 euros. There are 20 Mortar Guards that are again 50 euros, and a Mortisan Soulreaper that is 24 euros, for a total of 169 euros. Here I had to pay attention because technically it should be about the same of the previous that has been released in the Christmas, that I made also the unboxing about, that it's related about the Bone Tithe one. And sincerely, Mortisan Bone Tithe. And sincerely, this has quite a lot of difference because the Bone Tithe had also the Boneshaper inside, also other than the Soulreapers. And there were a little difference because there were the Catapult, so the Mortar Crawler, instead of the Riders, the Carlos the Riders. So I'm quite curious about the price because it should cost to be really good, about 120 euros. But to be really a Vanguard should be about 100 euros. So I'm quite curious to see about such one, because it could be a good way to save a lot of money, because if it would be for a sort of miracle about 100 euros, 15 euros could be quite intriguing. And moreover, if you have another discount to apply with, because if you are going to pay for all of this about 8 euros could be quite intriguing. It's yet to say about the Mortisan Soulreaper if it's really good or not, because previously it was the worst of the one about the charters related about the Ossiarch Bonereapers. I'm quite curious about to see if the rules are changed so much to make it quite good to play with, because I have two of them eventually yet to be playing with. Anyway, I'm quite curious. Moreover, because I play the crematorians, I want to remember you that in the description you can find my playlist about my modifying and so on about the crematorian success, because I'm really looking at about this releasing, and if the rules about the ones will be only about make really nice again the Battlefield Elites, or also the others sub-alliances related about the Ossiarch Bonereapers, but we'll see about such. And then we can see the cards related about the Ossiarch Bonereapers, and here we can find the image that it's about the Battletome of the Ossiarch Bonereapers itself, because it's the image about Catacross eventually. And then we can see about the Soulblight Gavelords, so we can find effectively the Battletome itself with the cover specialist one. And here, sincerely, I had to see, because it's the same, and I don't like of the previous one about the Soulblight Gavelords, and I don't like such way. I love such image, but I would have preferred a different image. And sincerely, here I prefer the limited version because I think that it's nicer to see at least. But anyway, it's not something that I have to have, so it's not a problem. And then we can see about Evia Volga, that it's the outcast, that it's similar to Kado about, because it's again an outcast, and I yet seen this model and said about, because I love such model. I think that it's one of the best about the Soulblight Gravelords that you have. So it's a Virkos, obviously, but I like, and I talked previously about. Then we can find that it's been listed the White King on Ethereal Steed, but Skeletal Steed. But here you have to pay attention, because this is quite good, because finally it's without the problem of being in a box, because before the only way that you had such model, it was in a box, so you had to pay the eventually one about the Vanguard for the Soulblight Gravelords to have such model. If they sell this separately, I quite like such thing, because I wanted it, but I didn't want to buy everything with that box, so I'm quite good that there is such one sold separately and available separately. Then we had the Vanguard about the Soulblight Gravelords, and here we can find that we have the Blood Knights that are 55 euros, the 3 Vargheists that are 45 euros, the Vampire Lord Armored one that is 25 euros, and 20 Skeleton Warriors that are 50 euros again, for a total of 175 euros for 29 models. Sincerely, here it's quite intriguing, because it's quite good, because you have the riders, you have the infantry, you have the charter that it's quite good playable, at least I hope, and you have the elite of the fast one. So I think that it's technically not bad at all. It's quite efficient as one, and it's technically a value even more than one about the Ossiarch Bonereapers themselves. So I think that it's not bad at all. The only thing that we have to understand if it's worth for you. Obviously, if it will be coming that this will be about 100 euros, could be quite intriguing, because even only thinking about having the skeletons and the Blood Knights and the vampire, it's perfect. Eventually, remember that the Vargheists can be converted in different ways. I made a video about having this become the Cryptoros or so on for the Flesh Eater course, because they can be monetized eventually. So eventually I leave the video in the description so that you can have a referral. But really, this is not bad at all, and I think that it's one of the best about the Vanguards. Maybe before, if we've seen about the Ossiarch Bonereapers, it would be problematic, because the Gothic Harvester has quite a limited useful, because or they make allies that it's going to bring the option to bring these more than 2, or it's limited about it. But anyway, I love the model, so it's not a problem about using it. Here we can find the Voskull about the Soulblight Gravelords, and here we can find the set about the Soulblight Gravelords. I don't like that they haven't released the ones about the Ossiarch Bonereapers. I hope that they forget about it, because I would have bought the one about the Ossiarch Bonereapers sincerely, but these are quite nice dice, so I'm quite intrigued to buy these ones, even if maybe almost for sure I'll not buy them, but anyway, they're quite nice. And there's been announced also other things related about these 2 armies of the death that are going to be released. The first one, it's the Last Volari, that it's a novel about a vampire that we don't have yet the miniature, but it's quite nice, and I'm quite intrigued about to buy it also, so I'm really thinking about. What instead I yet bought, and it has to arrive, it's about the Hollow King, that it's about Kado, and here I yet bought the miniature, but I bring the unboxing later, and this I bring with everything else. So what we can say about such releasing? I think that it's quite intriguing, because if you think about, we had the Ossiarch Bonereapers, that it's an army that needed a restyling, or at least an upgrading, because they had quite a lot of problems about. Sincerely, the Soulblight Gravelords, they needed to be redone, because this is a new edition, and they are still having been the main, I can say, faction of the death. They haven't had yet any about redone, so it was something to do. But I'm quite curious to see what we see, and I hope sincerely that this edition about the Soulblight Gravelords will not be all related about the vehicles or the main ones, but it will be becoming more flexible. Moreover, because if you see that the Vanguard box of the Soulblight Gravelords, it's related mainly to being with the skeletons, because there are a lot of skeletons, and there is the releasing of the White King separately. So I hope that that faction will be more nice. It will be able to bring up much more. So I hope. Anyway, I hope that it will be also something more. Sincerely, I am not so glad that there are missing the archers or new units about the Ossiarch Bonereapers, because okay, they made out a new model about the charters, but sincerely, I didn't need a new model about the charters. I needed some new troops, some new units. These ones are something that I needed about the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Instead about the Soulblight Gavelords, sincerely, it's only about some charters that it's not related about vehicles, but it's not something really problematic because there are a lot of models that has been listed about them. Instead about the Ossiarch Bonereapers, the problem is the amount of different models that are available, and I would have preferred some archers or so on, because the only archer available is from Kainan, and it's something that I would have preferred to have more affordable and useful, not only one model that can shoot of the mortal guards, obviously, because there are other models that can shoot in the army of the Ossiarch Bonereapers. So this is something okay, you have to take note. Eventually, write in the comments what you think, what you are expecting for, what you are really hoping for in the rules for both the Ossiarch Bonereapers and the Soulblight Gravelords, because I think that could be quite interesting to have something more to look at. So let's see about